الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. My beloved brothers, sisters and elders in Islam, the Chinese, they have a saying, or more correctly a curse, and the curse is, may you live in interesting times. And wallahi, it's been very interesting recently, very interesting. One fitna after the other, one problem after the other, and now suddenly a coronavirus, COVID-19, and the whole ummat is shaken. The whole ummat trembles. People are saying tawaf around the Kaaba is stopped, and it has never happened in the entire history of mankind, and it is a sign of Qiyamah. Qiyamah is upon us, and Allah knows best. What is haqq and batil with regards to this new coronavirus? New. We've seen coronaviruses before, and I'm going to be throwing out some facts and figures just to have a bit of an understanding. This is not the only coronavirus that exists on earth. It is the latest one. The latest one. Some of the dangerous coronaviruses that have already happened. In 2012, there was a coronavirus by the name of MERS, Middle Eastern Respiratory Syndrome. The mortality rate of that virus, 2012, was 34%. 34%. If you got that virus, then 1 out of 3 would die. You understand? Approximately 1 out of 3. In 2002, there was another coronavirus. It was called SARS. The term SARS is skrikwekkend. South African Revenue Services. You understand? SARS. So it was also a respiratory sickness. And it also had a mortality rate. The mortality rate was around 9.5%. How many that are present here today know of MERS? Almost nobody I speak to. But it was 2012, right? Mortality rate of 34%. How many of us know of SARS? Almost everybody I speak to, they don't know. That was 2002. Mortality rate 9.5%. The current coronavirus, COVID-19, they've been saying the mortality rate is 2%. Now they're saying the mortality rate it looks closer to 3.4%. You understand? So why are we shaking in our boots? MERS, the mortality rate was 34%. SARS, the mortality rate was 9.5%. This one, the mortality rate is only, highest estimates, 3.4%. Most don't even know about MERS and SARS. Weren't you alive then? Yes, you were. But we weren't shaking in our boots. Why are we shaking in our boots today? So some people have said, yes, MERS was 35% mortality rate, but under 900 people died. SARS was 9.5%, but under 900 people died. But this one, COVID-19, though it is 3.44% mortality rate, already 3,100 people are dead. Now it sounds a bit different, eh? So even though the mortality rate is high over there, you understand, and the mortality rate is low over here, but there's already 3,100 people dead. That sounds bad, right? Sounds bad. But what if I told you the mortality rate of flu is 0.1%? And every year, you know how many people die due to flu? 400,000. Every year, 400,000 people die due to flu. How many people dead due to the coronavirus yet? 3,100. So the most this coronavirus has ever killed in its entire life is 3,100. Flu kills 400,000 every year. Why are they not telling us to wear masks every year? One of the ways to decrease the flu mortality rate is to take an injection prior to the coming of flu, take the vaccine. It will decrease the mortality rate. Now government is commanding you to do this. That you must take a flu vaccine before winter. Yet the mortality rate, the amount of people that have died every year is 400,000. Which means the last 10 years, how many people died? 4 million people died. So just the last 10 years, flu has killed 4 million people. This virus for its entire life has killed 3,100. So why are you shaking in your boots? So I need you to know, my dear brother and sister in Islam, the day you were born, you stood the chance of dying. And every day after that. Life is fragile. Life on earth can be snubbed just like that. Sometimes there's a guy sitting a kilometer away, a sniper, and he's shooting you. The moment you die, you don't even know you're dead. Because you never saw the bullet even coming. There's not boop do it. You understand? That is how fragile life is. There's a million ways to die. This is no exaggeration. There's a million ways to die. The presence of this COVID virus, this coronavirus, has it changed the teachings of the Quran in any way? So why are you shaking in your boots? For what? Doesn't Allah warn you? Doesn't Allah say in the Quran, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِّنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ وَنَقْصٍ مِّنَ الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَنفُسِ وَالثَّمَرَاتِ وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِّنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ. We will surely test you with a little bit of hunger. Even if you are so hungry that you die, you need to know that that's a little bit hunger. Eh? That's not a lot of hunger. Because compared to the hunger of hell, Allahu Akbar, what is hunger till you die? Hunger where relief is brought by death. People in Jahannam will be begging Allah to die. They will be begging Allah to die because death brings relief. So Allah will be testing you with a little bit of hunger. بِشَيْءٍ مِّنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ. Little bit of hunger, little bit of fear. Then it ends. The people that go to Jahannam, the fear that they will suffer. Allahu Akbar. That is fear. You understand? What we suffer on this side of the fence on the earth, it's a joke. Really, it is a joke. One day when we sit in Jannah, one day, may Allah protect us, when some people sit in Yal, then they will realize that all of life was a joke. All of our life was a joke. We will test you with some fear. We will test you with some hunger. بِشَيْءٍ مِّنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ وَنَقْصٍ مِّنَ الْأَمْوَالِ. And you will suffer a loss in your wealth. وَالْأَنفُسِ. And you will suffer a loss in souls. Meaning, people will die. The Quran has it written there that every now and then people will be dying. Malakul Maut is visiting us every day. Every day he's smiling into your face and you are smiling back at him. And he's just telling himself, okay, not today. Okay, not today. But you know a day will come when he will not say, okay, not today. A day will come and he will say, righto, today. You understand? And so the issue was always, are you ready to die? Coronavirus or not, man, we are dying like flies. You need to understand that you came to this world to fulfill a purpose. When that purpose is fulfilled, you move on. This world is a massive examination hall. And the moment you finish with the exam, you move on. There is nothing to fear but Allah. There is nothing to hope for but Allah. Do not fear coronavirus. Do not fear an enemy. They cannot harm you unless Allah allows it. Unless Allah allows it. And if it is Allah's divine decree that you must suffer it, then it is your job to pass the test. Stop asking Allah why. Stop trying to do Allah's job for Him. Do your job. You understand? Focus on your job. Your job is to pass this test. Whether you want to accept the test or you want to reject the test is running. And the day you die, the test comes to an end. and you're going to be receiving your results, inshallah. Okay, no problem. So we will test you with some fear, some hunger, a decrease in wealth. نقص من الأموال والأنفس, a decrease in souls. Some of us will be dying. والثمرات, and some of our investments, it will fall flat. Then what does Allah say after that? وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ. And good tidings to those that are patient. What is patience, my dear brother, sister, and elder in Islam? In the face of a sickness such as the coronavirus, that will be taking some of our numbers. Firstly, I want you to understand it's a done deal. Our numbers are constantly being taken. You understand? So to add coronavirus to the picture, we're just adding a new thing that is taking numbers. Also throughout history, when the numbers of humans became large, something would come, a plague or the like, and it would trim our numbers a bit. You understand? How large are we now as a population? We 8 billion humans on planet Earth. I think it's the largest number we've ever been. It's normal for something to come and trim our numbers. Does it mean we must just give in? No. Listen to the doctors. If the doctors are telling you do this and do that, then in accordance with what is allowed by Allah, listen to your doctors. They are the experts in this. Please, people that are sending WhatsApp messages around, they know doctors, eh? The specialist from this country says the virus was made by the Chinese government. You cannot even guarantee that guy is a real guy. The specialist said all you need to do is use this. Yesterday somebody sent a picture around. Look at the back on the Dettol bottle. It actually has written there that it is a cure against human coronavirus. The reason for that is flu is a type of a coronavirus. You understand? But the COVID-19, is Dettol going to help you against COVID-19? Which doctor is saying that? Please do not listen to the conspiracy theories. Do not listen to the old wives' tales. Listen to your doctors. They are the experts in this field. The law in Islam is what? فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ ذِكْرٍ كُنْتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. If you do not know, ask the people of knowledge. When it comes to dini matters, it means ask the sheikh, ask the MOULANA, ask the imam. They are the experts of that. And when it comes to medical issues, then what does it mean? It means ask your doctor. Ask the suitably qualified individual if you do not know. Do not listen to conspiracy theories. If you are getting your deen from WhatsApp, and you are getting your facts from WhatsApp, you're probably going to be going to Jahannam, eh? If you're getting your deen from WhatsApp. Unless you can guarantee that the person that is telling you is a scholar. Unless you can guarantee that is actually an ayah. Unless you can guarantee that that is actually a hadith. Lots of people are speaking and the haqq is being drowned out. So number one, listen to your doctors. So as we look around, we see nobody wearing face masks. Why is that? There's no reported case of the coronavirus in South Africa as yet, except for one. You understand? And that guy is under, at the moment, a self-imposed quarantine. We got no reason to worry. And when the virus eventually comes, the mask should be worn ideally only by those who suffer from the coronavirus. Then it is beneficial. But those who don't suffer the virus, the mask won't be helpful. It won't be helpful. Once again, speak to your doctors. Should we stay out of large groups and the like? That has always been the teaching of Islam. It has always been the teaching of Islam that you should stay in your house. And you mustn't leave your house except for important things. Such as going to the Masjid, you understand, attending Jumuah, and so forth. People are already speaking, they're closing the haram, so we can't go for Jumuah. Yes, Saudi Arabia is taking certain precautions. Right? And we will listen to what they indicate to us. So if they're indicating to us that we can't come for Umrah now, then we won't go for Umrah. But is this the first time in history that the haram has been closed? There are scholars that are able to say that the haram has already been closed 40 times. Once the haram was closed for 9 years. For 9 years. Sibt ibn al-Jawzi, he writes that in the time of the Qaramita, the haram was closed for 9 years. So, should we hasten to the statement, it is Qiyamat. If the haram is closed, it is closed for a short time. It is not closed for all people who want to make tawaf. It is not closed for people who want to make salah. It is not closed for Jumu'ah. At this moment in time, they just want people from other countries not to come in. You understand? This is what is happening at this moment in time. Until things settle now and they are able to better understand. So I'm going to say again, please do not panic. Please do not panic. Technically, this is small fry. That's the first statement. The second statement is, listen to your doctors. Speak to the specialists. Do not listen to every Tom, Dick or Harry that is passing messages around. You must not get your facts from a WhatsApp group. You must not get your deen from a WhatsApp group. Thirdly, from the point of Aqidah, I need you to understand that Allah is the creator of all things. Allah is the creator of the good and Allah is the creator of the bad. So when it comes to this particular virus, Allah is its creator as well. Why would Allah release a virus amongst us? Because you came to this dunya to be tested. You came to this dunya to earn your Jannah. And how will you expose your true self? You will expose your true self under pressure. So Allah introduces a few elements that will apply pressure on you. And then under pressure, the true you will be exposed. In the English language, we speak of instinctual drift. If you apply enough pressure on a person, there's a point where the instinct will come out and you will see the real version of them. Like I'm a marital counselor in Cape Town for 19 years. A thing that I hear over and over is the following. Maulana, I'm not actually like this. The only reason I'm like this is because he's like that. The only reason I'm like this is because she's like that. I need you to know that that is a lie. Your husband cannot turn you into anything. Your wife cannot turn you into anything. All they can do is expose the true you. So if you become rude to your wife, rude to your husband, you say dishonorable things, then you need to know that you are always a rude person. You are always a dishonorable person. It is just that these circumstances have exposed the real you. That is it. Circumstances do not produce a man or a woman. Circumstances only expose them. Can you claim to have suffered more than Bilal? Radiallahu anhu, may Allah be pleased with him. Who had boulders put on his chest and his body was crushed. Can you claim to have suffered more than him when he was dragged through the streets of Makkah? When he was whooped by his owner for hours, to such a degree that eventually the owner was exhausted. And the Meccans met the owner. They said to him, who is whooping who here? Are you whooping Bilal or is Bilal whooping you? Who's whooping who here? You understand? Because the owner, after hours of beating, the owner was exhausted. But Bilal was still ahad, 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 ahad. Circumstances do not make you. Circumstances, they expose you. You understand? Because the power of choice is always there. The purpose of life, every Jumu'ah that I've come to this masjid, I've said this. The purpose of life is to test you. What does Allah say? وَنَبْلُوكُمْ بِالشَّرِّ وَالْخَيْرِ فِتْنَةً. We will test you with the bad, we will test you with the good. It is all a trial. أَحَسِبَ النَّاسُ وَيُتْرَكُوا وَيَقُولُوا آمَنَّا وَهُمْ لَا يُفْتَنُونَ. Did the people really think that they will be left to say that we are people of Iman and that they will not be tested? أَفَحَسِبْتُمْ أَن تَدْخُلُوا الْجَنَّةَ وَلَمَّا يَأْتِكُمْ مَثَلَ الَّذِينَ خَلَوْا مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ. Do you really think that you will enter paradise and suffering the like of that which people had suffered before has not come your way? This is the way of the world, my dear brother and sister in Islam. Life is tough. Life is tough. If you think life was supposed to be easy, you're going to suffer a lot. But if you know that life is tough and that you need to be tougher than life, then you will see that life is easy. You will see that life is easy. And if you are a true believer, you understand that the journey of life is from Allah. to Allah, with Allah, then nothing life can throw at you can break you. Nothing life can throw at you can break you. There's a simple mathematical formula to life. That mathematical formula is O plus R equals E. Sorry, I said it wrong. E plus R equals O. E, the events of your life, plus R, your responses, equals O, the outcome. And we got very little control over the E, the events of our life, but we got full control over our responses. And since we got full control over our responses, the outcome is in our grasp. What is the eventual outcome? Jannah or Jahannam. That is the eventual outcome. And since I control my responses to the events of my life, I control the outcome. Like basic maths. If I want the outcome of 0, and life throws me the event 5, what must my response be? Basic maths. E plus R equals O. So the E here is 5. I want the equation to end in a 0. So what must I make the R? Minus 5. So life throws me a 5, I must throw life a minus 5. And then I produce the 0 that I want. What if life throws me a 5 million? What must I do now? Just minus 5 million. I still come down to 0. It doesn't matter what life throws at me. You understand? I must just produce the right response. And always the outcome is mine. That is Allah's promise in the Quran. Allahu Akbar. Allah's promise in the Quran. Man amila salihan min dhakarin aw untha wa mu'min. Whoever does the salih act. Normally salih translates as pious. But it also means the act that is suitable and befitting to your circumstances. Whoever does the act that is suitable to the circumstance, whether male or female, wa mu'min, and that person is a true believer, committed to the right outcome. What is Allah's promise? فَلَنُحْيِيَنَّهُ حَيَاةً طَيِّبَةً. We will ensure that in the dunya, he will live a good life. Then what will happen in the year after? وَلَنَجْزِيَنَّهُمْ أَجْرَهُمْ بِأَحْسَنِ مَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. And we will grant them a reward that is much better than what they had actually done. A reward that is much better than what they had actually done. This verse, it gives you so much hope. Allahu Akbar. It means that anything can happen to me. There's always a right way to respond. Like when I was younger, I looked at different forms of martial arts. I was very interested in martial arts because my father was a karateka. You understand? He was a big Bruce Lee fan. So every day I was hearing hadith of Bruce Lee. You understand? And Allah knows best. Akumakala Bruce Lee. Every day. You understand? So I had a great interest in martial arts. And I was thinking to myself that there's certain positions that you're in. I just cannot see how you can win. Like if you're on the ground and the guys on top, how could you win such a fight? You understand? Dan kan jy maar enige strategy het en tactic het, hoe gaan jy wen? And then eventually I came across a martial arts, capoeira, where the aim is actually to be on the ground, on your back. So when I thought to be the position of weakness, there's actually a martial arts artist that wants to be in that position so that he can have his feet. En hy kan lekker skop met sy voete. You understand? And Allah knows best. So from that I learned, it's not the position you're in, man. It's who you are. You understand? It's not the position you're in. It's who you are. Like in the English language, they have the saying, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. So what does this mean? It doesn't matter what life throws at you. There's a way to respond. You understand? And make that to your benefit. So coronavirus or not, there's a way to live as a true believer. And the Prophet of Allah said it most beautifully. He said, let me just get it. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Ajaban li amril mu'min. Strange and wondrous is the way of the true believer. Inna amrahu kullahu law khair. Wa laysa dhalika li ahadin illa lil mu'min. All his conditions for him is good, or are good. And this is for none but the true believer. In asabatu as-sarra'u shakara fakanat khayran lahu. When good times come his way, he is appreciative and thankful to his God. And so his good days, they register as good by God. Wa in asabatu ad-darra'u, and when he's afflicted by bad times, sabara, he is patient. فَكَانَتْ خَيْرًا لَهُ. So even his bad days are good for him by Allah. Notice what Allah says. Strange and wondrous, the Prophet of Allah. Strange and wondrous is the condition of the true believer. All his conditions for him are good. So whether good days or bad days, there's a right way to act. In the good days, shukr. In the bad days, sabr. So whether bad days come your way or good days come your way, it is all good. It is all an opportunity to earn the pleasure of my Lord. It is all an opportunity to walk closer to my Jannah. And Allah knows best. What are we told in the Quran? Qul, say to them, Prophet Muhammad, La yusibana illa ma kataballahu lana. Nothing will ever afflict us but that which Allah has decreed. So whether I will suffer the coronavirus or not, it is decreed. Whether I will die from the coronavirus or not, it is decreed. It's all known. You understand? What I need to do is I just need to pass the test. Whether I am of those that will suffer it or not, whether I am of those that will die from it or not, I must just make sure that I pass the test. It is all decreed, it is all written. If anybody dies, what is the way of the true believer? Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Verily to Allah do we belong, and unto Allah is our return. Verily to Allah is all of us. Verily to Allah is that which He had given, and to Allah is that which He had taken. Inna lillahi ma a'ta wa lillahi ma akhadh. Whatever Allah has given to us, it belongs to Allah. Whatever Allah takes from us, it belongs to Allah. We need to be firm. Yes, we need to act in accordance with asbab. True tawakkul means not to ignore the sickness or anything else. Do as your doctors tell you. Do whatever is within your human capacity. But after you have done what is within your human capacity, do not allow your brain to collapse. Do not give in to paranoia. Turn now to your Allah. Say, Allah, this is what I was able to do to protect myself, my family from the coronavirus. This is all I'm able to do. After this, Allah, I put myself in your hands, O Allah, and whatever you have decreed, this will pass. And I'm saying to you beforehand that I will be happy and I will be pleased. So turn to certain du'as. Like for example, the Prophet Allah teaches us, say the following. Bismillahi la yadurru ma'asmi shay'un fil ardi wa la fis sama'i wa huwa sami'ul alim. In the name of Allah, Bismillahi, la yadurru ma'asmihi. Nothing can harm when the name of Allah is used. Shay'un fil ardi wa la fis sama'i. Anything that is in the heavens and anything that is in the earth. Wa huwa sami'ul alim. And Allah is the one that hears everything, and Allah is the one that knows everything. Specifically, when you call out unto Allah during a dua, Allah will hear you. And whatever you're suffering, Allah knows. So if you call out unto Allah, Allah will assist you. Allah will assist you, insha'Allah. And if it is decreed that you will die that day, then understand that that is the law of life. You understand? That is the law of life. Just make sure that you pass the test. And Allah knows best. I think my time is entirely up, insha'Allah. So I will end there. I just want to briefly say, once again, that the coronavirus isn't the biggest thing to fear out there. And life has a purpose. There's a test. There's a way to pass this test. There's a way to fail this test. Please do not listen to rumors. Please do not listen to conspiracy theories. Listen to what your doctors are telling you. Then, based upon that, do what you can so that you are not afflicted with the sickness, your loved ones are not afflicted with the sickness, the ummah, as much as you can assist, that they are not afflicted with the sickness. Do what you can of the natural causes and means. And then after that, place your reliance in Allah. It will all be good, insha'Allah. It will all be good. There is no need to give in to paranoia. It will all be good. Of the 90,000 cases worldwide, 80,000 is in China. So honestly, this Allah may be sah. And then comes the question, why? Why is Allah so busy with the Chinese? What is happening in China? So I don't want to speak now xenophobic things against China specifically, but China is hurting our Muslim brothers, man. China has been killing animals in the worst possible way that you can imagine. They are sitting around a live monkey, they open its skull, they pour hot oil on it, then they eat its brain while the monkey is looking at them. Causing pain to another animal. As the animal looks at you, you eat its brain. You really thought that Allah would not respond. That Allah would not respond. And what is the law in hadith? We mentioned in the previous Jumuahs. Adhabullah ya'ummu wa la yakhussu. When the punishment of Allah falls, it falls on everyone. It doesn't pick out. It was our job to stop them from hurting and killing the Uyghur Muslims. It was our job to stop them from doing things like this against monkeys and the like. We didn't do our job. Now we're all in the same boat. Upper deck and lower deck, we all sitting with the same problem. May Allah protect us. May Allah forgive us our trespasses. May Allah put in us hidayah, correct knowledge, so that we know what to do next. And may Allah give us the tawfiq to act in accordance with that knowledge. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين والمسلمات فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم.